Mastermind for Mortgage Mastermind Group. I'm Paul Baxter. Guys, girls, over the last probably 2 weeks, I've been having a lot of conversations with potential members and new members coming aboard. And one of the things that has come up over and over again is finding the time to get things done. Oh, I know what I should be doing, but finding the time to do it. And so what I wanted to do today is take the time away well, not take the time away from, but take the time to focus on setting up and really putting together and talking about the importance of time blocking and how it can work for you in your business. In case you missed it, a couple of, let me go to it and I'll tell you exactly how long ago it was. But maybe a month ago, we did a class that was specific to this topic as well, and I wanted to bring you to this in case you missed that class. And I've got to get signed in here, so bear with me just 1 minute while I log in. Bear with me. I apologize for the delay there. Once I'm logged in, now I can get to that members area. Sorry about that. I was logged out. All right, so in the Daily Mastermind archive, you're going to find a class we did called the Game Plan, or the Playbook. What did I call it? The Playbook? The Playbook. And what the Playbook is about, if you have not seen that class, I highly recommend that you do so after today's presentation. It's specific about time blocking and creating a plan of attack for all the things that you're going to do in your entire business, creating a plan on how to truly run a business as opposed to being a loan officer in somebody's business. How to run your own mortgage business is what that playbook is about, and how to set that plan up. So I highly recommend, if you have not checked that out, make sure you go to the playbook. Today what we're going to talk about is specifically time blocking. And a lot of different coaches and programs call it something. It's all time blocking. It's time management. Time management, I don't usually use that term because to me it kind of creates an illusion that you can manage more than 24 hours out of a day, when in reality you really can't manage time because you can't get more out of it than it's already given you. So there's no managing time to get more out of it. What you can do is you can block specific chunks of that time to accomplish your goals. You know, if you think about, people in our lives or people that you know of, you take Donald Trump, who is the world's most successful person in real estate. Yeah, I mean, that's where he made his fortune, right? He is no different than you and I. He is not, because of his wealth and his billions of dollars, not given more than 24 hours because of that. He still has the same 24 hours every single day that you and I do. It's all about how you block that time, how you manage the hours that you were given, and block it to get the most out of it. So that's what we're going to talk about today, is how to time block, really, and what it means. So the truth of the matter is that most successful people are the best time blockers. I gave the example of Donald Trump. Take anybody that you know is successful and look at what they do on a day-to-day, and you will recognize that they are really good at time blocking. Reacting to your business will never allow you to be proactively working on your business, and that's a big difference. There is a huge difference there, and I want you to think about that in terms of your business. Do you spend a lot of time in your business reacting to things that are happening on a day? Do you show up with a plan every day, or do you show up every day going, all right, let's take it as it comes? That's the difference between reacting and being proactive. And a lot of times that's the difference between, success and mediocrity. If you don't know what your why is, you all have heard me say this on numerous classes, and I'll repeat it again here. If you don't know what your why is, you'll never be able to achieve your goals. It's important to know what your why is, because your why is that factor that motivates you. So getting to know your why. What is your why? Why do you want to grow your business? Is it more vacations? I know Joy likes to spend a lot of time down at the beach. Is it more opportunities for you to spend time at the beach, Joy? Is it your kid's college? I know for me, making sure that my kid is set up when it's time for him to graduate high school and go off to college and give him the best opportunity to be successful. That's my big why. Some of you, like Jeff's why is leaving a legacy and creating a legacy for his granddaughter. That beautiful little 8-year-old girl that you see in his videos sometimes, for those of you that follow Jeff. So it's really important to know what your why is, because your why is what motivates you. That's what gets you going. That's what keeps you doing the things that you know you need to do to be successful in your business and therefore your personal life. So the first step to creating a good quality time block, again, once you know what your why is, you know what your goals are, and you have to know what your why is in order to do your business the proper way. But once you've got that, you need to put it all on. You need to put it in the calendar. You need to block that time out on the important things. But it's really important to simplify the activities that you're going to do. In a second here, you're going to see what just a partial list of daily activities looks like, and it can feel and become daunting if you don't simplify them or categorize them so that you know where they fall. Is this a money-making task? Is this a a non-money producing task? What kind of task is it? And you want to consolidate your tasks. And for those of you that have the ability to, delegate some of those tasks that are maybe not money-making tasks, right? And so here's a partial list of what that would look like, just kind of putting down a big list of everything that has to happen in the day so I can categorize them. Check your email, have lunch, return calls, talk to clients with files already in progress, put out files, social media, lock loans, run DUs, call leads, take applications, do monthly mailers. Plan your day, teach class at a real estate office, talk to an underwriter, learn new loan programs. That's a big one on the list that you should be focusing on, is your own education. Make sure that you are investing in your own education all the time. Go to closings. That's a big important one, I feel like, because that's where those that's how you strengthen that relationship and get those referrals. Calling or meeting with new referral partners. So again, this is just a partial list. As you know, they're the tasks that happen on a day-to-day basis. But you start to recognize that some of these can be categorized, like calls. For my calls, I've got call leads, call clients in progress, return phone calls, call prospect referral partners, call current referral partners, call title rep partners, call my divorce attorneys that I've partnered with. So they're all calls, though, and that's one category. Marketing, that's making videos, send out greeting cards, your social media stuff. Those are all things that are important to be done, but that's one category. Then you've got the loan processing category, taking applications, running DUs, locking loans, chasing conditions, faxing forms or getting stuff signed. That's all part of that loan process, and that's one category. And then you've got your everyday stuff. And for me, everyday stuff is things like checking your email, doing your lunch and your coffee, planning your day. Putting out fires is an everyday thing, and you've got to be able to, if you're going to properly time block, you've got to be able to differentiate what items are part of that daily, everyday stuff and what's actually, what are the important things to generating $1 today. And categorize them. But once you have them categorized, it's easy enough to kind of begin to put that time block together. What I like to do is I'm a color coding it. It's simple because you can look at it and you get that visual indicator. Some of us on this call are not visual learners or aren't stimulated by the visual aspect. You may not need to color code yours. I recommend it just because it gives you an easy reference to know when you're in that focused time, what you're doing, whether or not it's meant to generate money or it's meant to be something that has to get done that's not meant to generate money. So my categories are money-making tasks. I mean, that's one category. And you'll see what all the different things in that category are. And I like to put that green. Green is money. Woohoo! Who doesn't like money? Everybody loves money. Green is money. The daily, the everyday stuff, the personal stuff, that's going to be blue because that's neither making me money nor is it costing me money when I'm doing that. That's just my personal stuff, and it's something that has to happen on a daily basis. Just something that has to happen, neither costs me money nor gains me money. And then you've got your reactive or non-money making tasks. And those are things like you're reacting to the realtor called and the appraisal came in bad, or you're reacting to the underwriter called and said you need to get these 3 more documents signed, or you're in the process of putting the file together, making sure it's all in order before you submit it to underwriting to make it as streamlined as possible. Those are non-money making activities because they're not generating new loans. They're not generating new business. Yes, I get that it's essential to generating the check at the end of the day, but it's not generating any additional or new money. But it's something that has to happen. So the money-making tasks are marked in green on your calendar, all the activities that help you generate referrals and leads to help you get more loans. Some of the things that would be including in money-making tasks are things like prospecting time, one-on-one meetings with referral partners, and that's not just real estate agents. That's referral partners in general. That's CPAs, that's title reps, that's divorce attorneys, that's senior association representatives, so you can start marketing your reverse mortgage stuff. Anybody that would be a partner that would refer you business. Meetings with new clients, that's important. How many of us on the call, our goal is to meet with each and every client face to face? How many of us do that? Okay. Are you at every closing, or do you, prior to every deal, have you met face to face with every client prior to closing? I mean, is that is that something that's important to you in your business? And Terry says yes. I think it's important because there's that first opportunity to build rapport. And quite frankly, I believe, even some top producers that I know that don't take their own applications, they don't take any, they're not doing any of the chasing of conditions, they're not doing any of the pre-qual stuff, none of it. The only time they meet with the client is for a disclosure, and that disclosure is the sale of the thing. It's that opportunity. They still take that opportunity to meet with the client, even though they're not doing a lot of the tasks. They've got a team of 7 or 8 or 10 people that are doing those things for them. They still take that time to meet with the client because it's that rapport that gets built right then and there, and it's that opportunity to generate more referral business. I absolutely agree with you. And I'm glad to see you guys are on the same page with that. So meetings with new clients is a money-making task, I believe, because not only is it a new client or a new potential client, but there's the number of referrals that you could get on the backside of that as well. Return phone calls. Returning calls is a money-making activity, especially if it's lead calls or returning the call from a current client in process or a past client. Teaching classes, that is a money-making task, I believe, because you're being branded as somebody, as a leader, as an expert in a specific field, whether it be teaching about a specific loan program or teaching about a marketing strategy that can help those agents in their business. You're being looked at as an expert in what you're talking about, and that's always a benefit. That's going to give you more opportunities to meet with those people face-to-face, one-on-one, and ask for more business. So it is a money-making task. And then marketing strategy time, whether that be like our good friend Alan setting up his next round of greeting cards and send-out cards, or whether that be making a video to get sent out to my client base. That marketing strategy, those are money-making tasks because they're designed to generate new leads, new referrals to help you get more loans. Daily and personal, these are marked as blue on your calendar, and they are items that you do daily, not related to doing mortgages necessarily. Check mail, email, lunches. And unless, of course, that lunch is with a referral partner, then instead of blue, I like to make those green because that's a money-making activity. That's a money-making task if I'm having lunch with a referral partner. Planning your day, again, that's one of those daily things that you have to do. It's not necessarily making you money, but it's one of those things that needs to be done. On the reactive and non-money-making tasks, these are marked as red on your calendar because typically they're costing you money, important enough to make it to your calendar, but red because they're not money-generating tasks and typically cost you money. So think about this. When you're sitting at your desk and you're taking an application and you're doing all the processing and doing everything to get it ready to submit to underwriting, that is not that it's menial work. It all has to be done, but that is more of a clerical type of work. You're not selling any longer. What you're doing is you're writing up the order, and writing up the order is more of a clerical type work. It's $10 an hour work, to be frank with you. And so if you're at your desk doing $10 an hour work, that's taking you away from doing the work that generates a new loan, which when you're doing that, let's say you spend 3 hours and you get a new referral that turns into a loan. That's $2,000. What, 3 goes into 2,000 how many times? That's what, $900 an hour? Or not $900 an hour, that'd be $2,700. But you get the point, $600 an hour, a little more than $600 an hour. That's good money compared to the $10 an hour that you're sitting and spending that time doing the clerical work. Not that that doesn't need to get done. And I understand that a lot of us are not in a position currently to have somebody do that for us, which is why we have to include that on our calendar, but we make it red. And the goal is on our colors is we want to have a lot of green, very little red, and a little bit of blue. We all are going to have some blue because there's things that have to happen on a day-to-day basis, and quite frankly, you know, I like to do some things on a personal level, maybe take my wife to lunch, take my kids to school, something to that effect. So now you're going to start breaking it down, and you're going to actually start to create your actual calendar here. Now, when you wake up in the morning, and I know that of the people on this call, I know that at least 3/4 of us, and I'm not calling anybody specific out, but I know that at least 3/4 of the people on this call currently, when you wake up in the morning, the first thing you do is you take your phone and you check your emails on your phone as you're rubbing the sleep out of your eye, as the coffee brewer is going, as you're getting your sneakers on for your jog. Whatever the case may be, I know that 3/4 of us, and thank you for owning that, my friend. I'm not calling anybody out, but I know that at least 3/4 of us, if not more, are guilty of checking our email the first thing we do in the morning. I cannot tell you how important it is to change that habit as quickly as you possibly can. Never check your email first thing in the morning. Do something for you. If you're not into the workout stuff in the morning, get up, have your cup of coffee, maybe sit on the back porch and listen to the birds sing while you're doing it. Put on some headphones and get your favorite podcast of Zig Ziglar speaking, something motivational. Break out, go to the Mortgage Mastermind group and listen to one of the presentations if that's what you need to do. But by all means, I highly encourage you, if you are checking your email first thing in the morning, change that habit as quickly and swiftly as you possibly can. The reason for that, It doesn't happen every day, but I guarantee you, if you are one of those that check your email first thing in the morning, it has happened to you at least one time, at least one time. You go up, you first thing in the morning, you check your email, and it's something negative. It could be a deal is going south on you, a realtor called upset with you about the amount that they're pre-qualified for on a great customer. A lead is calling you mad because they know they just saw that they could have got a better rate, and are you trying to screw them? Whatever it is, it doesn't matter what it is. Your website that was up and running is down for the day. You know, whatever it is in your email, I guarantee you, if you're a person that checks your email first thing in the morning, you have gotten a negative email of some sort, and it's happening to you, or you're reading it first thing in the morning. Very first thing in the morning. Guess how the tone of your day is going to go from then on for the entire rest of your day. Yes, that's very predictable. I don't even have to answer that question for you guys. It's predictable how that's going to go. So Jeff's counter to that is all the more reason to check my emails first thing so I can solve the problem now instead of later in the day, costing me a day to my closing schedule. Jeff, I got to disagree, and I'll tell you exactly why. If that problem is in your email at 5:30 in the morning when you open your eyes, will it be there also at 8:30 in the morning when you get to now you're focused on work time? It absolutely will. Is there anything that you can do at 5:30 in the morning to solve or put the fire out? 99.999% of the time there is not. You have to wait till 8:30 in the morning to begin the resolution of the issue anyway. Why make the tone of your day start off with something negative that's spinning, that's causing you to react to your business instead of be proactive on your business? You're already reacting, and you're beginning your day with a tone of negativeness that is not going to shake off for the day. Instead, don't look at it now. Look at it at 8:30. The problem is still there, and you can begin the resolution immediately on the problem and begin to solve it. But your attitude is much better because you've started your day with something positive. You've started your day on the right foot, moving in the right direction, thinking about positive things, thinking about your granddaughter perhaps, thinking about something that motivates you instead of concern, what fire is going to put out. Catch them early. They may be already on their way to work. Catch them early with an email, and they may be able to send me what I need, not instead of 5 p.m. In reality, and that may be one exception to the rule, in reality, how often does that actually occur, where you actually catch the client and they don't get back to you at 5 p.m. anyway because you checked your email first thing in the morning? Highly unlikely. It's an exception, but the rule is typically you're not going to catch them before that time anyway. They're not looking at those things. They're not poking their head in and seeing or looking for fires first thing in the morning. Make sense? So we may have a difference of opinion on this, Jeff, but I will tell you, try it out. Try not looking at your email for first thing for a few days. Do a positive, motivating, go to Zig Ziglar and listen to him for 20 minutes in the morning first thing, and then check your email after that. Go listen to a class or a presentation, or go read a motivational message first thing in the morning first, and then check it. And you'll notice that the way, and you're a positive person going into you have a positive outlook on life to begin with, Jeff, and that makes it easier for you. But try it with some motivation stuff first, some positive affirmation first thing, and email after that. You'll notice that the tone of your day is set in a very different way, and your mental attitude towards everything. Now, it's not hard for you to have a good positive mental attitude on things, and people around you notice that. However, try it this way and see how much more energy you have, how much more positive attitude that you've got throughout the day, because you're starting your day in the right fashion. All right, and so for me, it's jogging, coffee, and shower between 7 and 8 a.m. in that order, please. From there, from 8 till about 8:30, the kids are going off to school, and I'm getting myself to school. And again, I like to listen to a positive message. And for me, I still haven't checked my email. I usually get to work about 8:30. That's when it's time for me to check my email. I've already done some positive things. I've already spent a little bit of smiling time most of the time with the kids, and it's good. So I check my email, see what's going on. And if I can't accomplish the task in that half hour, then I don't, because it's important to me to be able to do the focused time things. I will be able to put out every single fire that ever comes up. I promise you the fires will get put out. I promise you the fire gets put out. But it gets put out on my terms. I choose to be proactive on the fires that come up, as opposed to reacting to them every time it happens. And so from 9 to 11, that's my category call time. And my calls kind of go like this: 9 to 9:30, you're calling the loans in process, or the people who are a loan in process, or realtors that are involved in a loan in process, the seller agent, the buyer agent, anybody that needs to be called with a loan in process. That's happening from 9 to 9:30. 9:30 to 10, I'm calling on new leads that came through. New leads from yesterday, from the day before, ones that I've tried to call already and haven't heard back from, ones that, hey, I told you I'd follow up with you, new leads. From 10 to 11, I'm calling my current referral partners. Basically, I'm calling on people that I've either done a deal with, or I'm doing consistent business with them, checking in, how you doing, got anybody for me to call. From 11 to 12, I begin doing call time is done. My 2 hours of call time is done. Now I can, okay, take a breather. Now I can focus on the next task, which is my marketing stuff. One day it may be making a video. The next day it may be spending 30 minutes on social media, or 45 minutes on social media. Maybe I make a quick video and then I write as many handwritten notes as I can in the rest of that hour. Whatever that is, I'm doing it during that period of time. Maybe I'm getting my commitment letter together for my face-to-face meeting coming up on Thursday. From 12 to 1 o'clock, lunch, preferably with a partner. I try to have lunch. If you can accomplish having lunch with a partner 5 days a week, that's your 5 face-to-faces a week, I guarantee you'll grow your business. Not easy to do, though. Not easy to do. 1 to 2 o'clock is education and training. That's when you guys get to join me here on Daily Mastermind. Build that into your schedule. If it's important to you to have that all the time education, to have that ongoing training, build it into your time block. Build it into your schedule. 2 to 4:30. Remember, I told you, if it's a fire that came up, it's going to get put out. It doesn't have to get put out at 9 o'clock in the morning, but it will get put out. I promise you that. So 2 to 4:30, I have what I call read and react time. That's not time for me to be reactive in my business. I'm to read and react to things that have come up through the day, but it's planned out. I know exactly when I'm going to do it, how I'm going to do it, and what I'm going to do. Read and react time. That's my flexibility time, my firefighter time. As soon as I'm done with my education, I put my fireman suit on and I begin to read and react to things that have come up throughout the day. Because, again, I know that your phone may ring at 10:22 in the morning, But remember, between 10 and 11 o'clock, I'm calling current referral partners. So even if my phone rings between at 10:22 in the morning, I'm not taking it right now because I'm focused on my task. I'm focused on a money-making task. I'm focused on my time block. I will return that call between 2 and 4:30. That's when I can read and react. And then I check my email again, one more time for the day. Instead of spending 45 seconds in my email 57 times in a day, I spend 30 minutes in my email twice a day to get that same hour instead of 50 times a day for 50 seconds. Make sense? Instead of checking my email 50 times a day, I'm checking it twice. I'm spending 30 minutes inside of it to make sure that all the emails get returned, all the junk gets deleted, all the return messages, I read everything that's important. I handle my email, but instead of handling my email 50 different times for a minute here, a minute and a half there, only 2 seconds there because nobody had replied yet, but I still checked my email. That's still time away of taking me out of my focus. I'm only checking it twice a day for 30 minutes each. That's an hour a day spent in my email. 1 hour a day. Are you telling me that throughout the day, I'd like you guys to write down your time. If somebody thinks they've spent more than an hour in their email, write down how much time is actually spent. Yes, I know that a vast majority of us, probably that same 3/4 of folks that are checking the email first thing in the morning, we're checking our email 100 times a day. Every thought, oh, let me check my email real quick. Nothing's happening right. Let me check my email real quick. Got a cup of coffee, sat back down. Let me check my email real quick. Oh, I need to get some creamer. Sit back down, check my email real quick. You don't need to do that. Listen, I understand the need to want to be on top of things when they happen. However, you're operating a mortgage business. And if you'd like to do it efficiently and get the most out of the 24 hours you were given, block the time that you're going to accomplish the things that have to happen. You will be efficient. I promise you. Nobody's going to think that, oh my gosh, I emailed him at 12:45 and it's 2:15. I haven't heard from him yet. It's okay. Trust me, it's okay. If people need an immediate response to something, they'll pick up the phone and call you. Or they'll tell you about it if it's a partner or it's a person that's a loan in progress. Remember, we've already called all those people. All the important people I've got business going with, I've already called them in the morning. I've called them already. So it can't be anything too terribly important or you know, we would have addressed it earlier in the day. So that 2 to 4:30 time to read and react, time to react to things that are going on so that you can get everything done in your business. That's when you deal with those fires. That's when you put that firefighter suit out. Again, 4:30 to 5, I'm checking my email for the second time for the day, but that's a full 30 minutes. So again, I've got a full hour invested. Instead of 50 times for 50 seconds, I'm doing it 2 times for 60 minutes. Instead of 50 minutes total, I've got 10 extra minutes built into my email right there. 5 to 5:30, I'm taking the time to plan tomorrow or the day after, however you choose to set up your time block, and I'm going to give you some inside information in just a second here that'll help you understand that. But at the end of your time block day, spend 30 minutes to plan the next opportunity, to plan the next day, because you don't want to go into a day willy-nilly reacting to everything that happens. You want to be proactive on your business, and that starts with a plan. Make your plan the day before so you don't even have to think about it for the rest of the next 10 hours. You're off. And then schedule, put on your calendar, go home. Important to make sure that you include go home on your calendar. Now, there are 5 basic rules that you must obey to be successful with time blocking. There is no if, and, or but about this. These 5 basic rules you must obey, or here's what'll happen if you don't obey these basic rules. What'll happen is you'll go into it with the best of intentions. You'll put down an awesome time block. You got every hour of every day all set up, and it's perfect. You've got every second planned out. And then something on your calendar, you don't do it. Uh-oh, now you're off your time block. Now you're reacting to something or doing something that you should be doing during flex time, during your call time. Now your 2 hours of money time has disappeared. You're now down to 30 minutes of that, and you're way off kilter. Now your whole time block is shot. So the 5 basic rules are, if it's on your calendar, you absolutely have to do it. You cannot cancel it. You may reschedule it. We all understand things come up time to time. You may reschedule it, but you cannot cancel it. If it's on your calendar, you have to do it, period. If you're going to be successful with it, if you want to see it generate additional income, you must have a minimum of 2 hours of money-making tasks on your calendar. Your calendar cannot just be filled with firefighter time, read and react time, and check your email time. You have to have some money-making time, at least 2 hours on your calendar. Start with more flexibility time or read and react time, and then slowly decrease it. You would rather have more time, and the goal is to stick to your time block. If you're ever going to let it become something that you do in your business, you have to stick to your time block. Give yourself enough reaction time in the beginning that you will stick to within those time blocked frames for each and every focused task. Too little flex time, you won't get all the reaction stuff done during the period, and then you're into another focus time. Now you're off your time block, and it's all for naught. Tomorrow's calendar or the next time block day's calendar must be set before you go home on a time block day. So if I time block Mondays, so let's say I'm going to time block Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. At the end of Monday, I absolutely have to have Wednesday's time block set up before I go home. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Or you'll never time block again, and once you skip a day of time block, once you start time block and you skip a specific time blocked day because you didn't write anything down, now it's, well, I'll get to it next time. And then next week rolls around and you're skipping again, and the next day rolls and you skip it, and now you're not even time blocking anymore. You give up on it. And your calendar must include the time of day that you are going to quit. You absolutely have to have a quitting time, and you absolutely have to quit at the time your calendar says you have to do it. Remember, if it's on your calendar, you have to do it. All right, and so this is what it basically looks like. Again, my blue was my everyday stuff and my personal stuff, so it starts out with me checking my email, and then it begins with my green, my money-making tasks. Call loans in process, LIPs. Call new leads. Calling my A and B list agents. From 12 to 2, I'm making a video, and I'm going to get 5 handwritten cards sent out. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's what's on my calendar for this Monday, is making a video and getting 5 handwritten cards sent out. And I'm calling all of my A and B list agents. I'm going to have lunch with Fred McRealty. I had set up last week to have lunch with Fred McRealty, so my lunch today is with Fred McRealty. And then after lunch, I'm going to get on the daily Mastermind class for my own education. From there, I've got my read and react time from 2 to 4:30. I'm going to react to anything that's happened that did not fit within my time block here. I can react to it between 2 and 4:30. Then I'm going to check my email again. I'm going to plan for tomorrow or Wednesday, and then I'm going to go home at 5:30 today. Okay? And notice how the colors kind of let me know what I've got going on. So I've got 2.5 hours of money-making tasks going on. And yes, I know I put plan tomorrow as a money-making task because I firmly believe that if you plan your days with a time block, that will help you generate more leads and more money and therefore more loans, okay? And that's why I did that in green. So the keys to being successful with time blocking. I firmly believe this, that you cannot be successful with time blocking if you jump in feet first. I don't believe that you'll be successful if you try and set up a 5-day work week, time blocked out to, the way I just showed you, cold turkey, going from not working from a calendar at all and jumping cold turkey right into a time blocking for 5 days, you're going to fail. You won't make it to Tuesday sticking to your time block if you try and jump in cold turkey like that. What I recommend that you do is that you start out with 2 days of time block in a week. Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Tuesday, Friday. I don't care what days you pick, but start out with just 2 days of time blocking, which means you're going to block out the one day and put into that time block for, let's say I'm going to do Monday, Wednesday. I'm going to set up my calendar for Monday, and then Monday afternoon, because it's on my calendar, I'm going to set up my Wednesday's time block. With purposeful, planned implementation. I've got things on there that I know, again, I've lived by my rules. I've got my 2 hours of money-making stuff, more than that if possible. I've got my read and react time scheduled in there. I know exactly what I'm doing, when I'm doing it, how I'm doing it, and I know what time I'm going home. So start with just 2 days. Do that for 2 weeks and stick to those 2 days. Or I guess the best way to say this, okay, so if I got Monday and Wednesday, let's say I start with week 1 and I do perfect on Monday. I stick exactly to my time block on Monday, including making my Wednesday. And then Wednesday, come 10:30, something happens and I get out of my time block. I'm now looking at an email at 10:30 when on my calendar it says I'm supposed to be making calls on Wednesday. Well, guess what? I did not accomplish my time block for that week. Those 2 days, I did not accomplish it. So next week, Monday and Wednesday again, I get Monday done perfect. This time I got Wednesday done perfect. Guess what? You now have 1 week of time blocking under your belt. Next week, only do Monday and Wednesday because remember, you've only got 1 week under your belt of sticking to your time block. Because the first week you didn't stick to your time block. Second week you did. Third week you're doing it again. Monday and Wednesday, dadgummit, you did it perfect Monday. You did it again perfect on Wednesday. Now you're sticking to your time block. That's your second week. Let's go ahead and add that third day in there. I'm going to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday now. I'm adding Tuesday into my time block because I have found in doing it 2 weeks in a row and sticking to it perfectly 2 weeks in a row, you know what? I get a lot done during that period of time. I get a lot done on the days that I'm blocking. So add that third day in. Same thing with having the third day. If you don't do it perfectly on each of the 3 days, don't move on to the fourth day. Get to where it seamlessly, you're perfectly doing a time block day. Do it. Then get it to where you're perfectly doing 2 time block days for a couple of weeks in a row. Then get 3 time block days. Do that perfectly 2 weeks in a row, and you're ready to add that fourth day. Do 4 days a week time blocked perfectly 2 weeks in a row, and add that 5th day. And by the end of it, and it may take you 90 days to get there. It may take some of you a little bit longer. It may take you shorter. But at the end of it, what you've got is you now work off of a calendar. You now have a complete time-blocked day. and you're sticking to it. But test it out first. Do one day if you feel more comfortable trying one day first, and accomplish that perfectly for two solid weeks, and then add a second day. What I'm saying is the key to success with time blocking is don't think that you can just jump in cold turkey and be successful. But if you truly want to be successful, if you truly want to be good at time blocking, which, by the way, can change the way that your business runs, it can change that chaotic feeling that you get sometimes when you just got so much on your plate and you can't keep up with it because it's just too much, so much stuff, and there's so much going on. Time blocking can alleviate all of those terrible feelings. So I highly recommend it that you do take a look at it. It's not a hard thing to do. The key element is don't think that you can jump into it cold turkey. You gotta go into it slowly to be successful with time blocking. The goal is to be perfect on your time block, and then move on to upping the ante a little bit. And then down the line, you'll even start to add more green to your time block and take a little bit of that red away. So the question isn't can you, the question is will you? And boys and girls, that is all I've got today for time blocking for today. And I see a question had popped up while I was going through the presentation, so and question box is open, so if you do have a question, go ahead and ask it. Bill Rogers is saying, so Paul, you live by this, Paul? Bill, I don't currently, because my calendar, I've got some things that are disallowing me to, but yes, I try to live as much off of a calendar as I possibly can. The samples I'm showing would be, I'm not in the mortgage business. As you know, I'm not currently originating loans. And so this is not my current time block because I wanted to show you guys the sample that would make sense for what you guys are doing. But yeah, as I'm sitting here putting this together, I'm thinking to myself, there's some things that I should be doing that are more time blocked. Now, I do work off of much of a calendar as I possibly can, but I also, to accommodate the one-on-one my one-on-one coaching stuff, to accommodate that, I want to make sure that I can't really block out the same way that you guys do, because that one-on-one coaching, you're paying for it. I want to make myself available when you need me to be available. I can't do, well, Bill wants me to talk at 10:30 on Mondays. Well, that's in the middle of my calling time. He's going to have to wait until Monday at 4:30. Well, that, unfortunately, in what I'm doing, it's a little different than what you guys are doing, so I can't really do it that way, and I'm sure you understand that. Any other questions? From anybody? I think, guys, realistically, if you can focus on getting started with and learning how to properly time block, the rest of everything that you do can kind of fit within that and starts to take care of itself. Yep, and Bill, that's exactly my point of why I wanted to do this class today is in talking with a lot of my one-on-one members, it becomes evident that, so what Bill said, so you guys have the background, says you talked about this earlier, I'm resolved to implement. Most of my day is doing things as they are shot at me. The mortgage business by nature is a reactive business. It's easy to get caught into the trap of that because it's by its nature, our business, the mortgage business, is reactive. A lead happens, we react to it, we start doing our things. But there is a way, and the most successful loan officers I've seen are being proactive on their business and making accommodations for the reactive side of things. So staying proactive, meaning they have a purposeful, planned process for implementing everything from how an application comes in to how they're targeting real estate agents to how they're asking for referrals from past clients. It's all purposefully planned out so that there's a process involved. It's not just a willy-nilly thought or a reactionary thought. It's planned out. Hey, what I do on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday is I call all of my leads back between 9:30 and 10 o'clock. That's just what I do. Now, if I get a voicemail and leave them a message and they happen to call me back at 11 o'clock and I'm in the middle of my marketing stuff, they are going to have to leave me a message at that point because I'm calling them at 2:30 or 2 o'clock in my read and react time. That gets added to my pile of stuff to do during my read and react time. So I hope that helps. Boys and girls, thank you so much for spending a little bit of time with us today. I always get excited. I mean, it's just fun for me to be able to talk to you guys and help you guys, and hopefully you learned a little something today. Hopefully some of you are kind of taking the things to heart and kind of seeing within what we talked about today that there really is a better way to manage your day, to block your time out for the day so that you can get the most out of it. Being able to focus on a specific task will ensure that you actually get that task done, because I know you guys are smart people. I know a lot of you on this call, very smart people to do what we do. But it's so difficult to focus on getting something. You know, we've got these half-built marketing strategies that you kind of start them, but they never come to fruition. Well, it's because we're reacting. Something else came up. We were never able to focus on actually completing a whole task because we like to multitask. Well, what multitasking means is that we're just not focused on the activity we're supposed to be focused on right now. That's what multitasking is. We're not focused on what we're supposed to be focused on. We're doing multiple things. Well, therefore, you've never focused on anything. So we can do a whole bunch of stuff okay, or we can focus on one thing at a time and do it really well and move on to the next and do that one really well and move on to the next and do that one really well, as long as we know what our plan is, what our game plan, our plan of attack, or our playbook. So make sure you guys check that out. I mentioned that at the beginning of the class today, but make sure you check out the playbook if you want some real deep insight on what kind of tasks you should be doing during this time block. That will really help you focus on that. Guys, girls, that's all I got for you today. Appreciate you hanging out with me here at the Daily Mastermind. Again, I'm Paul Baxter with Mortgage Mastermind Group, and we are here to help you grow. Have a great day, everybody. I love you too, Peggy. Thank you. See ya.